Oh, hey, Olive. Wow, you're getting big. Almost like a real person.
That's so rare in a script that you find characters that you feel like, yeah, I'm interested in these people. I don't know them already. I can't write them off with kind of one kind of single cliche or stereotype.
Started snorting heroin.
I'm old!
Well, that stuff will kill you.
What am I, an idiot?
It was so great when we finally cast everyone and we could basically, hand the character over to them.
We not only got our first choice in every role, we got our dream choice in every role.
The important thing to understand here is that Uncle Frank gave up on himself, which is something that winners never do.
Richard Hoover is a self-help guru that is perhaps not exactly in the top of his field. He has a 9-step program, and he is a strong advocate of a person taking responsibility for themselves and winning. He is about winning, not losing, but winning. He has a young daughter who's involved in this pageant, and of course, the notion of her winning and the notion of her competing to win is suddenly very important to him.
There's no sense in entering a contest if you don't think you're gonna win. Are you gonna win?
Yes.
The Richard character is a really tough character to play, and we really love Richard, actually. We, I think, saw through Richard's sort of veneer of bad behavior and saw the deeper part of him, and we really loved the fact that he never gave up.
Olive, can I tell you a little something about ice cream? Yeah. Ice cream is made from cream, which comes from cow's milk, and cream has a lot of fat in it.
Richard.
When Greg has to talk to Abby about ice cream, I think he felt, as a father himself, he felt really bad about having to say those things.
Those women in Miss America, are they skinny or are they fat?
He kind of brings his own misguided philosophy and unfortunately, puts that onto her, and given the fact that she's 7, poses some problems.
All right, Olive.
Richard, maybe he has this blind spot. He can't see that he's doing it in a really untactful way, but he's actually saying this to her because he's trying to help her.
Greg has this unique ability to play an unlikable character and make him likable, because he's just a likable guy.
He can do more in his face in one little moment, hanging up the phone when he doesn't get the money or whatever it is, than most actors, I think, ever even attempt to.
There's a moment where Greg, at the dance sequence, where he's kind of got his hands like this, and Abigail's dancing in front of him, and he's going like this, and he kind of looks over at the head of the contest out of the side of his eye. I just love that moment.
What's that, chicken? Every night it's the fucking chicken. Holy God almighty. Is it possible just once
Dad?
we could get something to eat for dinner around here that's not the goddamn fucking chicken?
Hey, Dad!
Well, Richard and his father are genetically connected. There is some DNA that combines these two carbon-based life forms, but that's about it.
Grandpa's one of the funniest characters, but he's also one of the toughest. And, we need somebody like Alan Arkin to be able to do it.
Dwayne, this is the voice of experience talking. Are you listening? Fuck a lot of women, Dwayne. I have no reason to lie to you. Not one woman. A lot of them.
Enough, right?
What I loved about him when I read the script was the fact that he's completely out there. He's just completely out in the open. There's nothing hidden. There's nothing secretive about him. I just thought it was wonderfully crazy. This old guy becoming a heroin addict in his 70s. And the porn, he's very unabashed about everything. He's just right out in the open about all of this, everything he does.
This is all around this little 7-year-old girl who he coaches these dance moves for a beauty contest for.
Watch the language, huh?
He's listening to music.
I will pull this truck over right now!
So pull the truck over. You're not gonna shut me up. Fuck you. I can say what I want.
All of us are kind of trying to solve the tricky riddle that is Alan Arkin.
Olive, Richard is an idiot.
Well, Alan Arkin, amongst actors, you're talking about a legend.
I can't even call him Alan. I feel like that's just being too cool. Like, yeah, my friend Alan Arkin, that's all.
Alan Arkin shot for the first couple of weeks and then had a couple of weeks off.
We were just so sad when he,
rapped on it, we were just so sad. We were like, no. He helped me into the van, actually, so.
There's a moment in the film, Alan Arkin looks down to Abby and he says,
Was that fun?
and I think that was a genuine moment between the two people. I mean, it's like an open moment where you're still in character and there might be something that isn't scripted, but you just find it.
There's that old aphorism, what makes children so close to their grandparents is that they have a mutual enemy. And I think it is probably true with Abigail and her grandfather.
Grandpa,
Yeah.
am I pretty?
Olive, you are the most beautiful girl in the whole world.
I think that they love each other so much because I think they spend a lot of time together and they get to know each other a lot. And I think that after he coached her the dance, that they just became like, they love each other so much after that.
Olive and really Grandpa see life as this playful thing that you do for yourself, that you do for the pleasure of just doing it.
Olive isn't really like a beauty contest, beauty queen type of girl, but she's really nice, but you wouldn't expect her to be going out for like a beauty contest. But I think that, you know, she could win if she wanted to.
They're trying to protect her love of this thing that's very pure, and that in a way that purity is questioned when she comes to the pageant because she starts to become self-conscious. You know, they run forward to save her and allow her to just do this thing that she loves.
Abigail's, she's terrific. She's just a darling actress. She's just all honesty and truth coming through on every scene, and it's been great fun and maybe a little educational.
Abigail is a uniquely talented little girl. I mean, because she plays like a little girl and she acts like a little girl. You put the camera on her and there's just this sort of uncanny natural talent. We would shoot the dinner table scene in full, and there she is with Alan Arkin, Greg Kinnear, Toni Collette, Steve Carell, Paul Dano, all these seasoned actors, and she's completely holding her own, never losing focus.
The range that she shows in this movie and the set of emotions in the scene where, you know, she asks her grandfather whether she's pretty. I mean, you know, those seem like genuine tears.
I don't want to be a loser.
You're not a loser. Where'd you get the idea you're a loser?
Dad hates losers.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Back up a minute. We're gonna have fun tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Good night, sweetie. I love you.
When we were shooting that scene, she started crying. And there was something else going on in the take. And I remember right after the take ended, John and Val and I went to huddle and talk about something. And her mom was watching us, and she came up to us and she said, "Oh, were you really upset that Abigail cried? I mean, that was something she really wanted to try to do. Maybe we should have asked you first." I'm like, no, that was amazing. It's just that, you know, this other thing was going on.
We both saw Batman last, weekend or whatever, and I really liked it, and she didn't like it. And, we were arguing about it just to have fun. And all of a sudden she goes, wait, no, you know what, there was one part I really liked. She's like, when I walked out of the theater, I really liked that. And I was just like, oh my God, you just dissed me so bad. Like, she totally kicked my butt in that argument. I was like, you're 9.
Why, you don't talk anymore? Why not? Is that Nietzsche? You don't speak because of Friedrich Nietzsche.
Dwayne's a 15-year-old kid who might be a little bit ahead of his time in his intelligence, or I'd like to think that at least. And he decides to take a vow of silence for about 9 months because he doesn't like his family.
I think both Dwayne and Frank are coming from a place of severe depression and angst. So Frank picks up on that immediately. Is he always like this?
Ollie, why don't you tell us how your routine's
How can you stand it?
Paul Dano, we gave him a part without any lines. Can't tell you how many times in the cut, I mean, if you watch the movie carefully, you go, we'll cut to Paul in that car all the time because he makes the scene better.
I thought I'd get to kick back and kind of relax. I mean, I'm here every day, but I'm not saying anything on camera most of the time. It's kind of difficult, you know? I mean, it's all in your face, and, you know, if I can't just sit there and show nothing and be completely boring. So you got to find some other way of expressing yourself, as, you know, Dwayne does.
It was really amazing working with him. He's a really smart, interesting guy, and he got right into it. He didn't talk much, and once his character kind of explodes, it was really weird to hear him speaking.
Dwayne, for better or worse, we're your family.
No, you're not my family. Okay, I don't want to be your family. I hate you fucking people.
I guess it's like that when you watch the movie as well, so it's kind of the same effect.
I know he kind of forms a special bond with Frank, Steve Carell's part, his uncle.
I think Frank sees Dwayne as somebody who is kind of a kindred spirit.
Glad you're talking again, Dwayne.
Dwayne looks at Frank as someone he could potentially not hate.
You're not nearly as stupid as you look.
So I think that's their initial connection.
Why did you want to kill yourself?
I fell in love with someone who didn't love me back. I was very much in love with him.
Him? It was a boy? That's silly.
You're right, it was silly.
There's another word for it.
The character I play, Frank, is certainly unhappy in his life and relationships, or lack of them.
I hadn't worked with Steve Carell before. I think he's a really, really funny guy. He plays my brother-in-law, and we don't kind of understand each other's universe very well. So it starts from a contentious place, and it builds backwards from there.
I feel sorry for you.
You do? Good.
Yeah, I do. Because sarcasm is the refuge of losers.
It is? Really?
Yep.
What I loved about the idea of the character is that he starts in a really down, terrible place in anyone's life. And over the next few days, you see it kind of gently lifting from him. The layers are kind of being peeled away, that darkness, as he becomes involved with this family and their exploits.
In many ways, he's sort of the audience's way into this family. As somebody who is brought in from the outside, you know, we're sort of experiencing the insanity more or less through his eyes. And it's, you know, what better window into an environment than through Steve?
Thank you, Dwayne. Coming from you, that means a lot. I think it's kind of ironic that this teacher is actually the one that learns more or gains more from the experience.
Steve Carell created an incredibly complex, understated, subtle, real character with a really difficult part.
He goes way beyond comedy because he takes a depressed, suicidal Proust scholar and really sells it and embodies it.
Push the stick down hard.
I'm pushing hard.
Okay, there you go. Now put the clutch in all the way to the floor.
It's on the floor.
Stick them on there.
Push down hard.
What I liked about Cheryl is that despite all the chaos that she lives with, she's incredibly grounded. She's a really strong woman. She's one of those women who kind of give up their own aspirations in order to take care of their kids, and their kids mean everything to them.
They, I think, had been extremely close as children, and both smart, very capable people who just took different paths in life.
She's kind of the observer, right through to the end. Like, they're all up on stage, and she's just standing back, kind of looking at them, and then jumps on in.
I think Toni Collette is really the, you know, sort of heart and soul of the film, and I think that she, you know, gives a spot-on, perfect performance.
She takes what's supposed to be a bland, put-upon working mother and gives it so much life. You know, she's fantastic.
Also, I think it was very courageous for her to take the part. She's, you know, much younger than a woman who would have a 15-year-old kid, and there wasn't a moment's hesitation. I think she's an actress that will, you know, basically do anything that she's interested in, and is kind of a chameleon and can fit into any, you know, circumstance.
There's a moment in the movie where Greg has found out yet again he's not getting the money for his motivational program. And he says, can we just go? And she circles the van, and she's just staring daggers at him. She doesn't say a word. She gets in the car, shuts the door. And her power is just coming at you. And she doesn't need to say a thing. And that's where you realize how gifted and, you know, her attention to detail.
What are you guys talking about?
Politics.
Oh.
It's an amazing cast. I mean, I'm thrilled with the cast. I think they speak for themselves. They were all in it for the right reasons, and that comes out when you make a movie. When you have directors that stay with a movie for almost 5 years, you have producers that have waited 5 years to make it, you have a cast that loves the screenplay. It comes out in the quality of the work.
Is he here? Where's your grandpa right now?
In the trunk of our car.
Okay. We didn't cast these people because we like them as just people. We cast them because we love them as actors. It just so happened that they ended up being incredible individuals. And, you know, I think that the time they had, particularly in the bus, where they were kind of trapped together and we would have to circle around between takes and reset, to sit next to Alan Arkin and Steve Carell and Abby and Paul and Tony and Greg, I mean,
who wouldn't want to hang out in that car?
You know, I know the stories were really fun.
I can do something with my thumb. That's really weird.
Do you want to show us?
Oh, I just saw the movie Bewitched, and I learned how to do the nose thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you do it for us?
Okay,